I mean, you follow the league. What should be the next level for us? Tapping from the positives of the Olympic Games to impact on what we see week in, week out in the DStv Premier Basketball League.
I think first and foremost, the issue of facilities needs to be taken serious. It's about time, because it's how good the arena is. It was determined, how much interest you can get. I remember, yes, like you mentioned the ABL game, how people talked about it, and people, so much had fun about, going to the arena to watch. The spectacle it brings, drives people to come, and of course, one way or the other, people who want to spend their money, when they see, something good and of good quality, they want to invest in it, as well. So I think that issue has to be addressed. Then also, I think we need to tap in, from the coaching of Void. If the federation can, they should bring him down. Let's run some coaching seminars, with some of the coaches, because I think yes, it's really lacking in our league. You see the way the coaches yell at the players rather than tell them instructions, how they yell at officials during the timeout rather than talk about their plays and what to do to checkmate what the other coaches bring into the table, and even our players as well. Why I say coaching, because some of the players who lack the basic fundamentals, to be able to compete with these guys on the national team. I hear it all the time when people say, hey, look, the guys that are playing on the national team are not even locally based, and why is this so? Why are they not so? The first question you ask is, can they actually compete if they are given a level playing field, to fight for a shirt on the national team? And the honest truth is, at this point, no. The big guys who can have, of course, on the higher side of age, talking about the Abubakar Usman and co, yes, they can, but age is not really in their side, because they are some of the big boys who have played over the years. So we need good coaching to go into some of these youths, and of course improve the number of games that we play in the league. I tell everyone who cares to listen, you can't play a regular season 14 games and you want to compete with someone who plays 60 or 80. In the NBA, for example, play 82 regular season games, not to talk of the playoffs down there. And in Nigerian league maximum, you're playing maybe 24 25 games. So basketball is a game that you gather your momentum as you play more games, and all of that put together is what we need actually, so that these guys can begin to become shining light. I would have been excited if I saw one player from the Olympics and they say it's playing for the Jordan Warriors, or it's playing for Lagos Islanders, or it's playing for Customs. Okay, lovely.
Come and study what we do. I feel very strongly about that. Like send people here, send people to come and study what we do. So I think facilities is huge. I think organization. I keep hearing all this, nonsense about officials and all these things when we go to competitions and Olympics and all that. Let's get something straight. Sport is about the people that perform. When you go to leagues, whether it's the Premier League, whether it's the NBA, it's the players that perform. Do you hear anybody talk about officials? Or yes, we are people that do all the behind-the-scenes work, but it's not about us, we should put people in place and put them on a platform. So we should do away with that, all these officials and everybody going to, and we always complain about it since I was a young kid, do away with that. How do we do away with it? 3 people can follow a team, and run a team very efficiently. There's no question about that. Facilities is huge for us. When I look at that, the National Stadium, and I see it's an eyesore. I hate to say it, but it is. It's an eyesore, and I feel with that place and where it's situated, it's such a beautiful place. Why can't somebody do research, come and we make a budget and redo that whole place, and it becomes open it up. Even if we're privatizing. I bet you if you privatize and say, hey, somebody come and redo the indoor gym, or make that whole thing a project, and shut that place down for a year, and redo the whole thing. You think about all the athletes we have, football players, and everything that we do as a nation, and now we have players playing for Bahrain and different places. To me, it's a knock on us, because they should be playing for us. And the reason why they are running away from us is facilities, is organization, and all that. And the last notion is, I can't remember who said it, where a football player talked about I don't know if it was Omokachi or somebody talked about the allowances of players and why does it always have to be the bonuses, or why does it always have to be, yes, it's really true, you know, like, because if you said today, if you set a standard and said, this is what we're giving every athlete that comes to play for the country, everybody wants to play for their country, every single player, treat this professional soccer players, treat everybody with respect. It's not really about the bigness of the money or how much. Treat everybody with respect. Tell them what the standard is. If you are paying for tickets for, which I think is the first thing that should be done, is get them here, pay for their tickets. They should have that. It's not fighting for a refund of their tickets. They're coming to play for their country. So if you set a standard, I think we'll make so much progress. So there are many things that I think we need to line up, and I think we welcome anybody. I'm Nigerian, I'm African. There are so many of us that really, really want to help. And if there's any way they can tap into us, what we do. I work for one of the best leagues in the world, and there's no question about that. It's well run, it's so publicized, they make money. Why can't we tap into those little things? Because we have so much on this continent, and that's why people want to come here. I feel there's so much good going with us. We're growing in other things, you know. Why aren't we growing in sports? In banking, we're growing. In different aspects, we're growing. Music, we're growing. Nollywood, we're growing. Everything, you know, real estate, we're growing, you know. Why do we stand still in sports?
That's huge.
Yes, and that's an obligation for us. And we are responsible. All of us have to be responsible for it.
All right, let me go to social media very quickly, read a few of your comments on Twitter, and come back to talk about the Giant of Africa camp that's currently going on. Is it still going on?
We're moving on to Kenya tomorrow. We're done with Nigeria, so we're in 6 countries this year. But we're moving on to
Kenya tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay,
Kenya tomorrow.
I'll come talk about that now.